When y, okay, usually this is how a graph looks like. Okay, listen, Shh. When n is 0, your graph becomes what?
0.
What is x to the power of 0? Indices? 1, right? So your y is equals to a. Can you tell me how your graph looks like? Flat, horizontal line. So y equals to a is a horizontal line. Okay, this is a horizontal line. This is what we have learned before in lower sec. Okay, but what if n is 1? What if n is 1? Then you have y equals to ax. Okay? So when y is equals to ax, your graph can only look two ways. Can you remember y is equals to mx plus c? So in this case, this one must cut 0. And if this is positive, it goes upward. So when a is a positive value, you have an upward straight line. Yesterday I gave. Who else don't have the notes? Silas, you have? Who else don't have?
Chapter 5, right?
Yeah, chapter 5. I'm just doing recap first before I start the lesson officially. Okay, so if the gradient is negative, then you are going to get a downward sloping curve. But it is basically a straight line graph. Correct? So we have learned when x is 0, it's just a horizontal line. If a is positive, if a is negative, go below. I feel like I'm at like Jurong Bird Park or Mandai. Okay, but better than the chicken lah. Now it sounds like freer. We are like in spa, right? Okay, what if n is 2? Then we get a x square graph. You all remember how does the x square graph look like? Quadratic graph. Smiley curve and frowning curve. Oh my god. So, it's either you smile. So I know already. Actually, not that y'all don't know. Y'all just don't understand the language, right?
Yeah.
But how to write like that?
You say it's simpler English then.
So this is the smiling one. When your A is positive, you smile.
Oh yeah.
Okay? Then this is the negative one. When your A is negative, you frown. So this is called your quadratic graph. So we have learned these 3 types already. So it's either horizontal when power 0, when power 1 is straight, when power 2 is quadratic. So these 3 types we learned before. So today we are going to go into the other types. What if the power is negative? And what if the power is cubed? Okay? So that's the only thing that is new here. So they are showing you okay, can you tell me by indices? If I shift this x up, what is the power of the x? Negative what? Negative what? 2. So now we are exploring how does the shape of a x to the power of negative 2 graph looks like. So just plot, go ahead and plot, people. Plot these points. 0.5, 4, 1, 1. Chloe, you keep looking at your PLD. Chloe, you are a girl guide. I was a guider. And you are a company leader, right? So, find your focus. You can do it. We have so many student leaders in the class. You see, Justin, are you hiding there? Don't need the computer already. You got the paper, right? Put down your PLD. Screen down. Find your focus. You're like my son and daughter, you know. Must remind and remind. They sit there and say, don't know what to do. I say, you top up your wallet money already. Oh, yeah. There they go. So please. Okay, one by one, plot out the points. All these will get you marks. Plotting is 3 marks. If they never give you the scale. If they draw the scale for you already, it's 2 marks. So must get 1.5 and 0.44. So maybe here. And where 1. Oh, sorry. Then you see I lost my mark already. 1.3 and 0.44 here. Then 1.5. 0.59. Oh my god, what's wrong with me? 1.3 and close to 0.6. 1.5 and 0.44. Must plot. Naisha must plot. All these plotting marks this time cannot let go. Remember all B, right? All B housewarming.
No, you said 5.
All B.
You said 5 cannot change anymore. So you cannot change.
There was no change.
There is change.
It's always a constant. Okay. So you draw and join them together. Okay, it will look like this. So this is how your y to the power of x minus 2 graph will look like. When it is power minus 2, you will get a graph that looks like this. So what happens is the graph will go nearer and nearer to the y-axis and nearer to the x-axis, but they will never touch the 2 axes. Okay? So what happens to the value of y as x increases? Okay, y will be close to 0, but never reach 0. Okay, actually, when this scenario happens, there is a special name given to the axis. So now this is the moment you pay attention. You all remember in life you all need to reject people, right? So you can tell the other person that you and I are like asymptotes. You can get very close to me, but we will never cross paths. So asymptote is a line that is unreachable, meaning this curve will go very near to it. When you zoom in many times, it will never touch the x-axis. It can only go as close as possible, but it will never touch it because it's undefined. You can never get into that value. So same thing, going upward, they will always get nearer and nearer to the y-axis, but never touch it. So will O-level test you as asymptote? No. But maybe at poly or in JC, they will test you asymptote. But it's just for you to know. Why? What happened? Why? You don't make him angry.
He not angry one, he'll be like, then after that he'll break.
Or like that. No, you don't underestimate guys who got good temper. My husband look like he has the best temper in the world, but when he's angry, I'm scared. He just keep quiet. I so scared. No, he won't shout one. My husband very good temper, super nice temper. All the 2 kids and I got bad temper. Like, comparatively, we got bad temper as compared to him. He's like the zen one. But when he's angry, he keep quiet. I very scared. I walk past him, I was so scared. Yeah. So, guys who look like they got good temper, the temper inside. Maybe he got temper inside. Okay. Maybe inside he laughing. Yeah. Okay, but anyway, let's to your chapter. Okay, another type. Oh, these are the different types of graph already. So now you will see the graph dancing. Okay. So the usual one. Let's do the usual one first. This one just now we talked about it, right? This one we talked about it. Is when y is equals to a. Because x is 0, right? So it's just y equals to a. When a is negative, the line is like that. Okay, the line is below. It's a horizontal line. When A is positive, then the line is on top. So this is horizontal line. This one we learned before already. Okay, then x equals to 1, the power equals to 1. We talk about it. If the gradient is negative, it's a downward slope. Pass through the origin. When the when the number in front is positive, it's an upward slope. Okay, so this is a straight line graph. This one we learned before, just now I recap already. And then when it's a square, this is called a quadratic curve. So it's either a smiley face or a frowning face. So if it's positive, we are happy, we smile. Right? If it's negative, we are angry, we frown. Or sad, we frown. So these are the 3 types that we have learned in lower sec. So it shouldn't be anything new to you. The only new ones are the ones that I'm going to tell you in a short while. Okay? So the next type that we have learned just now is what if it is -2. Okay, so just now we had this. Y equals to 1 over x squared. And we bring it up. Is this right? But essentially, this is when A is positive. So when A is positive, our graph looks like this. Okay, but just now we didn't show you the other side of the graph because they only asked you to plot this part, right? But actually, it's like a mirror image. It is like your Chinese character pa. You know, number 8. Okay? So, when power is -2, is this way. Okay, but when it is a negative A, then it flips downward, it becomes like that. This one got Chinese character, no? No such word, right? Okay, don't have. So this is how the graph looks like. But when you draw, be careful, it should go parallel to your Y and your X axis. It should never touch. Okay, all these shouldn't touch the X and the Y axis at all. So when you draw, don't draw like that, like as if it touched already. Then it's wrong. So these corners cannot touch. Okay, this graph, in fact, these 2 graphs are what we call the reciprocal function or reciprocal graph. Why reciprocal? Because it's at the bottom. Okay, what if it is -1? Actually, one part of it look like what we want. So this part is the same. Okay, but the only difference is the other side is at the bottom. Okay, why? Because this is your 1 over x graph. 1 over x, or we say x to the power of -1. Okay, but imagine this is your original graph, but when we square it, this is your square graph. When you square the value, then all the negative become positive. So that's why this one is flipped up. Okay, this whole thing is flipped up. Okay, then this one is the same. Opposite side. Okay, all the positive become negative. So these are all the new functions that I need you to remember how it looks like. These are the new ones. You memorize the shape basically.
So this come out for WA.
Yeah, you need to memorize the shape. Okay, and then this one, the last one is what if it's a power 3? Y equals to ax cubed. This kind we call it the cubic graph. Okay, cubic graph look like that. Like that. Then you move like that. Okay, so change side. So it's like the graph dancing as it changes. I remember I saw a video of why? Yeah, let me find the graph dance song. Okay, just for laugh. So go to 5 notes. Oh, in case you are wondering this one we never draw, right? Page 3, can you turn to page 3? I plot for you, you copy. Okay, I didn't go through this, I didn't realize.
Must all touch the.
Yes, the 0, 0. Okay, then the last one is this one. It's okay, ugly is okay. Okay, so just make sure that when the number in front gets bigger, it goes closer to the y-axis. Okay, it goes closer and closer. Okay, what if it's a power 1? So this one is your cubic. This one just need to know will do. Don't worry too much about it. Then this is a straight line. So straight line, same thing. This is my y equals to x. But y equals to 2x gets steeper. Okay, and then y equals to 3x, even more steep. Okay, and if it's a downward curve, y equals to minus x, y equals to minus 2x, and y equals to minus 3x. So the slope just gets steeper and steeper. So it's just showing you that the number in front actually affects the shape of your graph. That's all. Nothing much. Okay, no need to draw perfect. You just need to know the relationship. So this one as A increases, graph gets steeper. Okay, all this. Steeper and steeper. Steeper means it's tougher to move upward, right? So you just imagine you are standing here trying to walk up the slope. If the number becomes bigger, it becomes tougher for you to move up. So it becomes steeper and steeper. Okay? Why? Happen? Brandon, you never draw. Why today you all very low energy? In fact, yesterday you all low energy already. Why? Yesterday during year head interaction, you all nobody reply the year head. The whole cohort so quiet. But nobody reply. The tree story is quite meaningful. So tough to engage the new gen. Yeah, but it has a deep meaning behind.
I don't like deep meaning anymore. You know, every
Yes.
English lesson got something to learn, right? Why cannot? Even the pencil also got meaning.
Yeah, have. Yes.
You say it's so much.
Positive is for the
Positive why?
not positive is
Positive is the power. So x square, all power 2. So x square, all power 2. Then this is power 1. Yeah, so the n represents the power. Okay, draw the curves. Will we ask you to sketch like that in exam? Not really, but it's good to know how it affects your graph. Okay, we will strategize a bit. Focus on the exam stuff.
We are revising now.
Yes. Yeah, can, sure. Okay, but this one you don't need to memorize. It's just for you to know. Okay, next one. Match 2. Why? This one power what? Straight line is power what? Power 1, right? So if we look at the power 1 answer, we have 1 and got another power 1, no? Don't have, right? Okay, if you check, can you see that the gradient is downward sloping? So this is correct. So this is number 4. Okay, what about B? It's a what type of graph? Cubic, right? So there's 2 types. Which one should it be? Number 5, yes, because this is the negative one. Okay, the negative one looks like this. The positive one is here, like that. So this is the positive one. Okay? So if it's the positive one, then this one is number 2. Okay, what about the inverted par? Inverted number 8. This is power what? Power what? Power minus 2, right? So it's either this one or this one. So if it's a normal 8 on top, then it's this one. Right? But when it's negative, it is inverted. So this is number 9. Okay, but if it's on top, then you can write this to be number 6. Okay, what about this one? Like that one. This one is power what? Power? 3 or 8, right? So it's either this one or this one. So now you all need to think. Is this the positive one or the negative one? So it's number 8. But if I flip it here, yeah, then this is the number 3. So as long as you memorize the shape, you can't go too wrong. Okay, right? I think the bell is going to ring anytime. Yeah. Is there homework that I can give? No. You can do the revision worksheet. Okay, do the revision worksheet. Okay, those who didn't pass the file check, please work on your file and pass to me when it's ready. I will take back and look. If it's okay, I return you. Why? Oh no, those already give me. They just didn't pass file check.
Are you sending any name for HOD?
Those that never pass file check, if by the time you give me second time still don't pass, then I have to submit the names already lah. Why scared, right? Scared now, right?
Also, I can print out.
Oh, okay, later Okay, what lesson is it now or end of the day?
End of the day.
Also, actually, we can continue lah. I don't have lesson. So actually, every even Thursday, I can extend lesson one. Right?
No, thank you.
No, even Thursday. So that means before WA, I will extend a Thursday. This is obvious Wednesday. Okay, even Wednesday. What training? Oh, so sometimes can, sometimes cannot.
Never cannot.
Okay, approaching WA, then we check again. Okay, thank you, class. Okay, have a nice day. Bye. So Jamil, you can like Justin like that. Okay, go and print.
Joe, remember tomorrow
Oh,
our attendance for
and
tomorrow,
yeah. Yes, yours is a very good file. I was telling Mrs. Paul.
Joe, remember tomorrow.
Notes now. You to the now. We stopped here the last time. This is the more important point. So look at this table of values. We want to find the y. You put it in here. So right. So y equals to 4 divided by 0.5, you get 8. CC together can learn. No, whole conversation I hear. So sometimes I saw it, I try to give you a chance, but it really doesn't work out. Okay, so this one will give you 0.8. Okay, then you go and plot out the graph according to the scale that they give you. So they say 2 cm, 1 unit. This is 3 marks, please get it. X-axis. If you are very worried that you don't have time to do graph, do first. Draw the graph first. Okay, then you do others first. So 2 cm, 1 unit for x-axis. Then I check. I need all the way until 5. So I mark out 1 cm. 2. Oh no, they say 2 cm, 1 unit, right? So like that is 1 cm per box, right? So 2 cm, correct? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 2 cm represents 1 unit on the x-axis. 2 cm represents 2 units on the y-axis. So 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. Stop until where you hit 16 because the biggest number is 16. No need. One small box like that, default is 1 cm by 1 cm. Okay, so this one must know because this is 3 marks. Drawing the graph is 3 marks. Because my biggest number is 16, so no need to draw beyond that. Okay, so I plot the first one, 0.25 and 16. So 0.25 maybe here. So I go all the way until I hit 16. So my first point is here. Okay, next one is 0.5 and what? And 8. So 0.5 is here. I go to the point where I hit 8 here. 1 with 4. Okay, 1.5. Jamil practice this one. Graph is important. 2.7 is maybe, this is 2.6, 2.7. Yeah, why? 0.25 is here, what? Here, right? Somewhere here in the middle. Okay, then we have 2 here. Then we have 3 and 1.3. Okay, 4 and 1. And then 5 and 0.8. So you see all the points. It looks like it's this is exactly the shape that we know, right? If x is to the power of -1, we know that we will get this shape. So if you already know the shape, you sort of can guess how your graph will look like. But if you cannot, then you just follow the plot and draw accordingly. Okay, so if you go and join the points together. Yes. So just make sure it passes through all the points it needs to pass through. And then draw the curve accordingly. So this is, if they give you the scale, then it's 2 marks. If they don't give you the scale, it's 3 marks. So just by doing this diligently, you get your 2 or 3 marks first. It depends. Okay, part C. Okay, this is the important part. Okay, this is the important part. Shh. I told you, right? Suitable line will definitely be tested. So this is my curve. This is my curve. I want my curve to intersect something so that I can solve. Can you see this is my curve? So I will keep this on the left hand side and everything else I shift to the right. So this is my 4 over x and my 2x I bring over. So what do you notice? This is actually my y. So question is asking me to intersect this curve with the line y equals to 2x. So the moment you get this equation is 1 mark. They say draw a suitable line. They want you to draw this line out. So the moment you can manipulate what they give you and tell me what's that line, you get 1 mark. Second mark is drawing this line out. So how to draw? You create your own table of values. Sub in any 2 points you like, as long as it appears on this graph. So let's say I choose 0, because 0 is easy, right? So I sub in 0 here. Y is also 0. So 1 point is 0, 0. I just need 1 more point for a line. So I sub in 2 maybe. So 2 times 2 is 4. So my second point is 2, 4 here. So all I need to do is to draw this line out. And my solution is here. The intersection. So when the line is equals to my curve, it is this little point here that I'm supposed to read. So go and read this point. It happens to be 1.9. So this is my solution. So part C's answer is my solution. Okay, can. So question asks me to solve for this, right? So I must find a relationship back to my original curve. This is my curve. So one look at it, I saw my curve here already. I just need to go and find where is that line. I need my curve to intersect my line. So this is my curve. I keep it on the left hand side. Anything else shift to the other side. So I shift the 2x over and I realize that this is actually my y. So this is my line. This is the line and this is the curve. If I want to solve them, I equate them together. So what happens is I'm equating this to this. So when I put them together, what happens? It's actually this that I'm trying to solve. So what I'm solving is I want the curve to intersect the line and see what is the solution. So in this case, the solution is this little circle here. 3 marks. The last part is 3 marks. So plotting can be 2 to 3 marks. In between, there will be some questions. And then maybe like 8 marks for graph. So it's worth your time. Yeah, so it's worth your time, huh? Yes. Huh? Yeah, then you draw already, you go and read the point. Okay, so I'm going to drill a bit more on the suitable line because that's where the marks are. So remember, you need to create your own table of values to draw that line out. Okay. No, the energy level is too low for a week 5. Why ah?
You want high energy?
No, not that I want high energy, but like no, like your why so dead like that? C x equals to 1.9. This one is x equals to 1.9. They will usually accept maybe plus minus 0 point something. Yeah. How you just sub in any point you want. You can sub in 1 also. Then you put in the 1. you get 2. So you plot 1, 2, you join. As long as you have 2 points, any 2. Yeah, can? Because it's like in the middle of here. 1 point. Oops, it's 1.45, right? No. This is 1.5. Yeah, 1.45, sorry, my bad. 1.45. So, only Yao Ting is awake. Because the rest just copy, right? Why my eraser so big? Okay? Work hard for your future, people. Indices. So the 9 different laws of indices, make sure you memorize them. So from the addition, okay, to the subtraction, okay, and then having both subjected to the same power. Okay, if you have division, both having the same power, negative power you shift down, become positive, 0 becomes 1. Okay, and then if you have fractional power, and even if you subject it to a power n. So these are the 9 laws that you can be tested, and of course solving equations. If the base number is the same, the power is the same as well. So this is for solving indicial equation. So do expect 1 or 2 questions on the got intruder. 1 or 2 questions on this for WA2, and then the next one that is important is compound interest. So compound interest is this one, A equals to P bracket 1 plus R over 100 to the power of n. This one is given on the front page. If you cannot remember, it's on the front page. You just need to know how to apply. A means amount at the end of n years. So it always includes your principal plus the interest. So if I want you to find me interest, you just have to use your A to subtract the principal amount. So this is the other thing that is important in chapter 3. What's the last thing? Forgot. Standard form. So standard form, just remember that always express your answer as A times 10 to the power of n. A must be a number between 1 but strictly lesser than 10. So if I give you 1598, I ask you to change to standard form, shift the decimal point until it becomes a number between 1 and 10. So this is what you will get. Yes. No, I don't have it. So this is 3.1 to 3.4. This is 3.5 and this is I think this is 3.6. So this is 3.5. Something like that. Airdrop? Yes. Can use calculator. So this one is chapter 3. Okay, wait But y'all can go and add in your own stuff. Okay, this one later I export together. Okay, next one is chapter 4. Chapter 4 is the one that we just finished. So remember, chapter 4 only got 3 important things. Gradient. Y2 minus Y1. X2 minus X1. So it's either rise over run. So you can have an upward gradient which is positive, downward which is negative, horizontal which is 0, vertical which is undefined. Okay, so this is gradient formula. question can ask you for gradient, or question can ask you to find the equation of straight line. So which is y equals to mx plus c. So if I tell you the gradient of the line is half, and I say it cuts the y axis at 0, 2, for example. So I'm telling you that y-intercept is 2. So with the gradient, with the y-intercept, then you can tell me is y equals to half x plus 2. So I can only test you these few things. Whether I give you diagram or not, you just follow through the method. Last thing I can test you in this chapter is length formula. Okay, length formula, remember, is always the difference of the 2x coordinate square plus the difference of the 2y coordinate square. Okay, for example. So just make sure you know the three formula: equation of straight line, length formula, gradient. And then of course, the last one, I can ask you geometry problem. Means I give you a parallelogram, or I give you a triangle, find the fourth point. Or if I give you a triangle, find the area. So geometry problems. So this one, there are a few examples in the notes. You can go and practice. So this chapter 4, everything that is important is already here. The main concepts are here. Just make sure you know how to apply them. Okay, the next chapter that we will just learn, or to finish learning, is chapter 5, which is functions and graphs. So I take this opportunity to do a recap first. The first one is the different types of graphs. So last week I told you we only learn n equals to 0, n being the power of x. So n equals to 0 is when y is equals to ax0, which is a. So when we have y equals to a, it is a flat line, horizontal. So this is called y equals to a line. Okay, when a is positive. But when a is negative, it just falls below. Okay, so you just need to remember, if it's positive, it's above, if it's negative, it's below. Next type of graph, this is a horizontal line. Next type of graph is your linear graph. So when n is 1, so you see x power 1, right? Then you will see a graph that slopes in this way, a line. So this is ax. Okay, also same thing, when your gradient is positive, this one is gradient. Sorry? N is the power of x. This one, the power of x. Correct. Then, sorry? Not both. So if the a is a positive number, then it's this line. If a is a negative number, it's the line below. So if I ask you to draw, let's say this one is y equals to minus 5. That is below. This one is y equals to 3. Then it's above. Okay, when the gradient is positive, it's upward sloping. When it's negative, it's downward sloping. This is when a is negative. Okay, so this is called a straight line graph. But when you go power 2, then it becomes a quadratic graph already, your smiling and frowning curve. So you will start seeing shapes like a smile when a is positive, but a frown, okay, when a is negative. So this is the third type. Fourth type is when it's power 3. Power 3, we call it the cubic graph. So cubic, the shape is a bit interesting. One hand up, one hand down. So this is when it's positive. No, you just need to know the shape will do. Okay, so that when we ask you to draw the graph, when you see funny shapes, you won't be shocked. that you plot the wrong graph. Okay? So this one,
So this one don't need to remember.
good to know lah. Good to know. Good to know. Okay? So this is cubic. And then we have the negative power graphs. So let's say n is minus 1 now. So that's why you will see graphs like this. So when it's a graph like that, it splits. One up, one below. So example, if y is 3 over x, you will draw it in this way. Okay, but if the number is negative, then you flip it downward. So this is when y equals to minus 5 over x, for example, negative number. Okay, lastly is n equals to negative 2. You just need to remember both are on the same side. So this is y equals to maybe 3 over x squared. Then when it's a negative number, both are at the bottom. Y is equals to negative 5 over x squared. So these are all the 14, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 12 graphs that you need to know for now. Later we learn exponential.
When does your first start? Yeah, when does it start?
We can start where you all need. Yeah, you just need to arrange with me, okay? So very shortly after, we will learn how to plot out all these, right? So later on, we will plot out all these graphs. So the, no, we will give you a table of values you plot out, but you will start seeing funny shapes. Not the usual. Last time you only see either this or this, right? But now you will see shapes like split or like this. Then just don't be shocked, basically. Or just give straight, huh? Okay. So what is new in this chapter is you are going to find gradient of this thing called the tangent line. Do you all know what's a tangent line? Okay. So tangent line just means a straight line that pass through one point on the curve. So for example, let's say we have this curve, right? Then I say at the point 2, 1, draw a tangent line. That means I need you to take out your ruler, go to that point, and then draw a line that only touches that point of the curve. So how do you do that? Is make sure your ruler, when you place it on the curve, it is equal distance on either side, like it's balanced. So once it's balanced on the left and on the right, then you draw that line to touch that point only. Yes, roughly the same can already. So usually this one is 2 marks. So let's say you draw the tangent line. The moment you draw the tangent line, I see that it only touches that one point, I give 1 mark. Second mark is where you go and pick 2 points on the axis, or on the line. Let's say x1, y1, x2, y2, and go and calculate the gradient. So this is your second mark. So in the next part of this topic, we are learning this, how to draw the tangent line. But this one, the accuracy is something that we cannot guarantee. You just try your best to make sure your line is balanced on both sides. That means about equal distance away from either side. No need to go and measure the angle, but roughly equal distance away. Then you draw that line. Make sure you only touch that point. Don't go and draw a tangent line like that. Never even touch your point. Then obviously I'm not giving you the mark. Okay? So this one is tangent. This one is the second important concept. Last one is suitable line.
What is tangent?
Tangent is a straight line, this straight line.
Why they cannot say straight?
It's just called a tangent line.
Can you use straight line?
No, we will write, draw the tangent line at this point. So you notice, as I move around the curve, the tangent line will keep changing depending on where your curve is. Sorry? Did I what?
Nothing. You said the paper.
I said the paper already.
Why you say tangent line? What's this gonna be?
Definitely will have tangent line, no matter what.
So you got test.
I test. So, AMF got more than that. You see this one? This is 2 already. 1, 2. Positive, negative is 1 and 2. Positive and negative. Positive, negative, positive, negative, positive, negative, positive, negative. So, total is 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. So, we are going to learn another 2 so that you learn total 14. Okay, so let's practice some more. This one, or not yet. This one. Now we see. Shh. We keep practicing this until you get good at it. This is my curve. Okay? You see part of your curve there, but it's not exactly in the way that you want. So how do I make it your curve? What do I need to do so that I get the left hand side equals to my curve? What do y'all think? How do I make this part equals to this? What do I need to do? I don't want 4 minus 3 over x squared. I want 2 minus 3 over x squared. So if you minus 2 on the left hand side, you must do the same thing to the right. So now I get 2 minus 3 over x squared. It's exactly what I want. This is my curve.
Where you get the minus 2?
I need to make it 2. So in order to do that, I need to subtract 2 on the left hand side.
Only on the left.
Yes. No, both left and right you must subtract 2. Cause you can't, it's an equation, right? You can't just minus 2 on one side and let it be lopsided. So do the same thing to both sides. So now you will see that this is your curve. So this is your curve. So what do you think is your straight line? What is the equation of your straight line? Kira, you following or not? Why you count finger? What is the equation of your straight line? Y equals to x minus 2. Just follow this. This left hand side is your curve. This right hand side is your line. So they want you to draw this line out. So this is your suitable line. Okay, so the moment you get your suitable line out, Ufa and Chloe following or not? This is important. This is 3 marks. You every time halfway don't pay attention, you lose 2 marks, lose 3 marks. Okay, so find any 2x values to sub in. What 2 values you want? You only have 0 to 5 to choose from. So what values you want? Okay, 3. So we put 3 here. 3 minus 2 is 1. So that's 1 point. I plot out 3, 1. One more point. Four can? Or 0? 0 is easy. Put in 0 here. 0 minus 2 is negative 2. So plot these 2 points out. So 3, 1 is here. You sub in anything you find from here. Up to you, your choice. Can. But just that 5 you put in here, you get 5, 3, but you don't have 3 here. Cannot plot. It's out of the range. So choose another number. Okay, so 0 minus 2, oh, it's also out, sorry. Because minus 2 is somewhere below, it's out of my graph. So I choose something else, maybe I choose 1. So if I put in 1 here, 1 minus 2 is negative 1. So I plot in 1, negative 1 here. Okay, so go and plot out the 2 points, draw a line and form your straight line. So question wants you to solve this. Where do you think they meet? They meet here and here. So you actually have 2 solutions. One is x equals to 1. The other one is maybe 3.8 or 3.85. Okay, we accept a range of answers. So as long as you are within the range, is okay. Okay, so this itself is 3 marks. You draw the line, draw out that line, find the solution. So this one 1 mark for finding the line, 1 mark for drawing the line, and 1 mark for finding the answer. So the very last part of graph question is always like this. Okay, make sure you can follow. Jamil. This is 3 marks. Draw longer. Draw beyond your line. So we have 1 more point. Hey, why yours different? What is your equation? So if you sub in 3 is 1. 3, 1. Then the other one is when you sub in 0 is minus 2. What? So you plot another point. This one is out. I don't have minus 2. So maybe you plot 1. Sub in 1. So this point is wrong. Check again. Okay? One last one. This one. Let's try to find the suitable line again. So now I'm going to ask you, this is my curve. This is my curve. What is my suitable line? This is my curve. On the left hand side is exactly what I want. So this is my curve already. So what is my line? Yes, so my line is just y equals to 8x. That's all. So once you get this, you get 1 mark. Second mark, you plot. So sub in x as 0, you get 0. Sub in x as 1, you get 8. So plot out 0, 0, and 1, 8. You just pick any point x you want and sub it here. No, you can sub 3. You can sub 8. Yeah, 0 is easy to sub in. Okay, so once you have that 2 points, go and join them together. Oh, mine is off. Okay, so once you draw that line out, you will realize that there's one solution here and another one here. So one of the x is 0.5. The other x solution is here, which is 1.6, 1.7, 1.8. Okay? So the moment you can do this is 3 marks in your pocket. It's a straight line.
No, I mean the curve one.
Usually it will be a curve. This one, right? Yeah, usually it will be a curve. Paying attention, no. I cannot. You all need me to scold again, right? Scold, then you all wake up. Cause you see, the moment you all mix sitting, then you all start talking. Just like either you go forward, Latika is gone.
Yeah, we're learning, we're writing.
But as you are talking, maybe the others around you cannot learn. Maybe Brennan is having a headache because you all talk too much.
Brother is having a headache because he's tired.
No, maybe you all talk too much. Then that's why Jamil also cannot focus. Jamil, I hope the PLD is not under your table. Okay, then what are you staring at? Space. So Ufa and Chloe, last warning, or Chloe goes back forever. Okay? You know it's not working out. There's a reason why I changed you, because Ufa and you cannot stay together. It just doesn't work out. The chemistry is too good.
No, the chemistry.
Okay? Cannot. Also cannot.
Even when we were noisy, right, I learned so much
Yeah, but cannot. Because you learn so much, but others don't learn. Then I cannot. Yeah, so you see?
No, I told him.
No, but we're not going through anything.
You want to hear my joke?
No. Okay? So let's try the example here. Can you tell me whether A is positive or negative for this graph?
Negative.
Negative. So you can just give me any negative A value. This is just one example. You can give me negative 1 million.
Oh, really?
Yeah, as long as it is a negative number, then it's a possible value. So this is just one possible solution. I don't know. Okay, next one. This curve, which one is this? We check, this is power 1. Power 1, which kind of graph? Power 1 is what kind of graph? Isn't this like a y equals to mx plus c? Which graph is it? Figure what?
Figure 4.
Figure 4 y. Why not 1? Why 4?
Because it's a positive.
Which one is a positive?
The other number. So uncle is minus x.
Because it's minus x. So gradient is negative 1. Gradient is negative, so it's downward sloping. So that's why this is figure 4. Okay, so you must know the reason why is that so. Okay, this is a x to the power of negative 1 graph. So which one is it? Is it the together one or the split one? Is it the together one? Yes, so it's the split one. So this is figure 3. And then this is the square one and it's positive, so it's the par, right? Both together. So the x square graph, when it's below x to the power of minus 2, is either like that or like that. If it's positive, it's this one. If it's negative, it's the below one. So this is figure 2. So memorizing the shape will help you predict what you are plotting. So at least you know your graph is going to split or not split. Okay? So this is just a PMP practice. Okay, let's learn the last type of graph you will ever see for E-math. Yes, it's the last type already, no more.
Okay.
Really?
Yeah, exponential is the last. So all together you learn 14 types. Just now you learn 12 already, right? The up and the down, both. Whether it's positive or downward.
AMF is normal.
A-math still have logarithm, log function, LOG. So they have that, and they have all the sine, cosine, trigo graphs. So they have a lot of graphs to remember. Okay, so here we will write down when you see an exponential graph. That means instead of having x being a number, now your power is x. So when we say that, oh, your weight is increasing exponentially, we are really being very sarcastic, meaning you are gaining weight so fast. So exponential graph doubles up or increases at a rate so much faster than the normal rate. So when the power is x, we call it an exponential graph. This number here, we just call it a constant. Okay, a constant. Then this one, we call it an exponent A, or we can say the base A. Okay, so all these terms not so important, but how it actually looks like is what is necessary. So let's say they say, can you draw y equals to ax? Okay, so the power is x. You notice the difference? So when they want you to draw this, first thing is you sub in x as 0, what happened? Become what? What is anything to the power of 0? 1. Indices law, right? So when x is 0, y must pass through 1. So this is a very important point in exponential graph. It will always cut the x-axis at a very strategic point. So in this case, this is your exponential graph. If it's negative, it will go opposite direction. That means like this. How you know you plot a table of values? It will look like this shape. Okay? Then now we want to make a guess. What if the number here, instead of 2, change to 5? How do you think the shape will look like? Just like what we learned just now. Yeah, when this number increases, how do you think the shape will change? Closer to the y-axis. Okay, but when it goes below here, it will flatten a bit more, but closer to the x-axis, like this. Okay? Then when it's 10, it gets even closer. Okay, but one thing you need to note is it will never touch the x-axis. Get very close, but never touch. That's all. Okay, so just for your info, but all of them will pass through this point because 5 to the power of 0 is 1, 10 to the power of 0 is 1, 2 to the power of 0 is also 1. So they all cut the y-axis at 1. So this is your exponential graph. Okay, so you just remember the 4th type of shape, no, the 13 and 14 type is this one. So when you draw, just make sure you draw accordingly. It just gets nearer and nearer. From here, nearer, all nearer to the axis. Then the last one also nearer to both the axes. But don't touch the x and y. Chloe, you don't have nose, Then you can ask me for one, right? Justin came and asked me for one. You went through the lesson without a note. How like that? How you tell me? Middle, right? Highest rank also. Okay, remember, don't go through the lesson. Yeah, but don't cave in. Okay, when you draw, just make sure when you are drawing, don't cave in like that. Don't cave in and cave out like that. Make sure you just go like flatten out, like going parallel. So this one eventually will also go parallel to this one. Okay, but don't cave in. Don't cave in. This part don't cave in. Don't like turn back. Yeah, no turning back. Okay, what? This one. If this is my original. This one is the most basic one. Just now we draw already. Pass through here. This is my y equals to 2 to the power of x. But what if I ask you to multiply the whole graph by 3 times? What do you think will happen? Still the same, but just that instead of intersecting at 1, it should intersect at? This number is?
3.
So 3 times means it should intersect at 3. And every value here technically should multiply by 3, right? So it will go steeper. Okay, something like that. Okay, but of course, if you want it to be like a bit more parallel also can. Okay, something like that. So this is 3 times of it. Then just imagine 5 times of it. So this one will just be above it. So just take note the number in front here. Okay, make sure it passes through at different axes, because instead of passing through at 1, now when I multiply by 3, it intersects at 3, intersects at 5. So just take note of the difference. Then negative is just a mirror image, like this one. So this is a mirror image. Oh no, go down, sorry. Positive y becomes negative y. So become like that. Okay, become negative. So flip downward. Same for your 5. Flip downward. Okay? Okay, will I test you in this way? Quite unlikely. Okay, but good to know its behavior. WA3 will be congruency, similarity, trigo, bearing. Yeah, your Tuakaso, your sine rule, cosine rule. Yeah, that trigo.
Not the calculate the area of the triangle.
Not half AB sine C, have. Okay? So this is the last of exponential graphs. These are exponential graphs. So just to let you know, the power is always x. Secondly, when you sub x as 0, it will cut y-axis at 1. This is one classic thing about exponential graph. If you put a number in front, it will multiply your intercept accordingly or flip it downward. Okay. Okay, if you have graph paper, then don't take. If you don't have graph paper, I think I gave you 3 graphs to plot. You might need 3, but I may not have enough to. No, you do 3 ABC, 4 ABC, 1 for 1. So 3 ABC, 4 ABC, and 5 A. 3 graph paper. 3, huh? 1 and 2 no need, we do in class.
Okay.
Where my file?
If not, go and buy graph paper. Okay, let's stand up, stretch yourself, wake up. I still have some. Whoever needs it. Okay, thank you, class. Okay, please do your work. I told you all there's a special line, right? This line that you will approach but never meet. What is it called? Okay, it's called asymptotes. So your line go very near to it but will never ever touch it. So it's called asymptote. So you can say the curve approaches the x-axis but never touches it. The curve approaches the x-axis but never touches it. The values of y are always positive. The values of y are always negative. Okay? So this is all for the... Okay, when you go back home, can you do PMP? Please. So approach, positive, negative. Let me just... Okay, I have some graph paper. Do you all have graph paper at home? No. Your book list have what? You all want to keep for what? But I may not have enough for all. Maybe you all take 1 or 2 can. Tell you homework. This one sure can do. This one don't do. This one I do in class. This one don't do. You just A. Okay, this one only do up to C. Too many already? Only plot 2 graph a lot? Or 1, 2, or 3 graph for me? Okay, 3 ABC. So, 3 ABC, 4 ABC, and 5. 4 ABC, 5 A only. On graph paper. Yeah. Oh.